How's it going, folks? I'm here today in sunny California driving the all-new Lucid Air Pure. That is Lucid's entry-level model, and it starts at $69,900, not including destination. That sounds like a lot of money, but it's a big price decrease from what used to be the cheapest Lucid Air, which was the Pure all-wheel drive. We lost all-wheel drive. It's just rear-wheel drive powered by one 430 horsepower motor with 406 pound-feet of torque. Crazy to think that that is an entry-level model, but it is. And that's good enough to do 0 to 60 in, stop beeping at me. That's good enough to do 0 to 60 in 4.5 seconds and 419 miles of range out of only an 88 kilowatt hour battery. We're off in the Redwood Forest in Northern California, testing out all of Lucid's cars. So I've already had seat time in the Touring and Grand Touring, and this slots in below it. Those cars come with all-wheel drive and, a few more luxury features, but it's not exactly, luxury is not exactly something that the Pure is missing. I mean, you still get the really cool trick dual displays, you get a nice stereo, good autonomous driving tech, really comfy seats. Now, they're not as comfy as the seats you get in the other cars, but they're still pretty neat. This car, you can almost think of it as the driver's car of the lineup. Sure, there's the Sapphire, but that's $250,000 and has over 1,200 horsepower. That's not really what you think of a driver's car. This is the lightest car in the lineup. It feels really nimble. I mean, it's not exactly light. I'll put the weight of the Pure right there. And that's, it's still a pretty hefty car, but in terms of just how big EVs have gotten and how heavy they are, that's really not that bad. Prices start at $69,900. Then you had $1,500 for destination. And then Lucid made a big deal. You can get a lot of the features that are available on the Touring, Grand Touring, and even Sapphire on the base model car. Some people just don't need all that power or all that range. Like the Grand Touring gets you 516 miles of range according to Lucid, and not everyone needs that. The mid 400s is still a really solid number for a car like this. I was speaking with Lucid CEO Peter Rawlinson, and the thing that I took away from it was that Lucid's really into getting every single little detail right and having everything aimed toward efficiency. They were able to make this car $69,900 because of the small battery. 88 kilowatt hours is not a huge battery for an EV. It can go something like 4.5 miles per kilowatt hour, and that's really good. That's industry leading, I would say, or at least real close to the top. So let's talk about what the Pure kind of means for Lucid. Basically, being the entry-level model, it's probably going to end up being the volume car for them. But they need to start scaling in a really serious way. They gotta start getting more cars out the door. Because economy is a scalar thing. Then the price to make each car will go down. And this car is like a good way to do that, especially until the Gravity SUV comes out soon, which I gotta look at that too. That's gonna look like a real cool looking truck. That'll be out, sooner rather than later. And then down the road, there are a couple of, let's say, mid-sized cars. But for Lucid to reach these points, they have to sell a lot of Airs. And they're selling a good amount, but, the Air until recently was, at least like an $80,000 car, which is not even close to mass market. Now, being $70,000 isn't a mass market car either, but, for a luxury car, it's actually a pretty solid deal. Pretty solid. The cheapest way to get a really good looking car. And it is a really good looking car. I really dig the way it looks. It's not for everyone, but it is for me. I suppose I will see you next time. If you guys have any questions about the Lucid Air, drop them on down below. I'll try and answer them for you. Bye.